Hey folks, this is BestInSlot and welcome to the start of today's coverage of the brand new Dominion Biosyn Expansion for Jurassic World Evolution 2, releasing tomorrow for everyone who has a copy of the game on console or PC. Shout out to Frontier for giving me early access, and throughout today's videos I'm going to showcase a lot of different things. Of course, we'll do an in-depth look at the new species in the next few videos after this. We'll do a general overview of the update and of the DLC as well, everything outside of the species. But in this first video, I'm just going to show you every single dinosaur, the new variants, the new skins, and the new species as well. So, let's get started. So our first dinosaur is the Pyroraptor, our first real glimpse we ever had at a feathered dinosaur. And as you can see, it does look better here than it looked in the screenshots. I think the feathers come together a lot better. The individual ones, I think the tail fan in particular is really nice looking. We'll take a look at all these new species in the species viewer at the end if you want to see all those alternate skins. I'm going to try to make this initial portion a little bit snappy. But you can see how they catch the light and everything like that. They've got this sort of gleam to them. You've got that little mohawk, backwards mohawk thing going on with the head. This is, of course, the 2022 skin based on the Jurassic World Dominion film. But, yeah, there's your Pyroraptor. Obviously, if you want to see all the animations for the Pyroraptor and go really in depth with the dinosaur, come back in a little bit for my video specifically on the Pyro. But this is the first of the new species, as in the brand new dinosaurs you'll get hold of. The second brand new dinosaur, the brand new species you'll be able to play with when you buy this DLC, is the Therizinosaurus. Our large, bizarre-looking theropod herbivore, the Therizinosaurus, my favourite dinosaur in the pack. Whisper it quietly, but maybe my favourite dinosaur in the entire game. Whilst the Pyroraptor feathering looks really good, it is individual feathers and that causes some issues, I would suggest. This kind of furry, feathery rendering, however, that the Therizinosaurus has, I think looks absolutely fantastic. It looks really good. The sound effects that this creature makes are brilliant. It's so bizarre looking. And come back for the animation showcase. That's the one I've already recorded. Definitely come back and check it out for the Therizinosaurus because it's got a lot of really cool animations. The big theropod kill in particular is a real highlight. Next up we have Dimetrodon. There we are, on first of the non-dinosaur additions to the pack, our first terrestrial non-dinosaur we've ever had in these games. Dimetrodon actually, I think, translates really well. I think it came out of the film looking really good. This is again the 2022 skin, so there will be a Frontier version, which again I'll show you towards the end. If you saw my gameplay from the preview event, you'll know that the social animation in particular for the Dimetrodon is absolutely fantastic. We may be about to see it actually. I think we are. I think they're locking into it right now. They both are. You know what? Why not? You need to swing around this way for this bit, trust me. There we go, and blump. all three pairs did that simultaneously. One more brand new species to take a look at before we dig into variants and skins and stuff like that, and that is our first pterosaur of the pack, our only pterosaur of the pack, the Quetzalcoatlus. I have not seen the exit animation for this actually, so I'm quite excited. You can only release it in a batch of one, so let's see how this looks. Okay, it's got to be said, this thing is absolutely gigantic. I was curious just how they would manage the size aspect of the Quetzal when they brought it into Jurassic World Evolution, but they did that very well at the very least. Of course, we'll have a video on the Quetzal later on as well if you want to check out its animations. I haven't seen them yet. I'm very excited to see how it maybe kills humans in particular. That's quite an exciting notion. But yeah, they got the size element. It really fills out that aviary hatchery, doesn't it? And there you go, the Quetzalcoatlus. Fantastic frontier skins on this thing as well, it's worth noting. The feathering there. Again, many of these creatures are feathered. 3 out of the 4 new species are feathered. Let's head back to our dinosaurs. So, you're not just going to get new species in the pack, but you're going to get 2 new variants, the Dreadnoughtus and the Giganotosaurus. Let's kick things off with our brand new sauropod. I love those sounds it makes. So that is our brand new variant Dreadnoughtus, and I just want to clarify that. So there's 3 different types of dinosaur you're getting in this pack. You're getting new species, you're getting variants, and you're getting skins. So a new species is of course a completely unique creature with its own animations, with its own sounds, with its own everything, essentially, with its own dino entry, blah 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 blah. A variant is an existing species, but with enough tweaks to it's kind of halfway between a skin and a new species. But skins are smaller changes and they don't have new sounds, whereas variants would. Variants, I believe, do not contain new animations, but hello buddy. Your eyes are terrifying. But either way, that is our new Dreadnoughtus variant. So same thing for the Giga. It will act like the regular Giga in most ways, but it's got a brand new model, completely different, and it has new sounds. These ones pulled straight from the film. There I believe the camera work on the exit may also be new, but it's hard to say for sure. But there is our new Giganotosaurus. We've got some scars down there at the side, straight from the film. And of course we've got that whole crocodilian looking body thing going on. I'm making no judgment calls here today. It's up to you how much you like it, but you can see what I mean in that. Whilst it isn't a new species per se, the variant is 100% different than the original Giga. Maybe, you know, there's some basic shapes that are similar because it's a large theropod, but the model is essentially entirely brand new. We've got that big spiky crocodilian crest in the middle there, this sort of osteoderms going on down the back, and that crocodile tail down here. I say crocodile a lot, but it is very crocodilian. So that is the new species and the variants. Those are the big changes. The next thing is the skins. So these are going to be just slight changes to existing dinosaurs to make them a little bit more unique, starting with the Dilophosaurus. And as you can see for the Dilo, it basically looks the same as the existing Dilo, but it's based on the film skin, basically. So we've got this sort of orange warm tones here on head. Unfortunately, a bit of clipping there. There you go, good look at the new the frill there, which is very different than the one seen, of course, in Jurassic Park. It's much simpler in design, actually, but I really like this kind of sunset burst of colour there, and we've got that kind of, interesting enough, the skin, I'd say, is very close to the Giga, in that it's this light grey, sort of striped with this darker grey along the way. So, sometimes the skins can give slightly more noticeable changes. We're going to see that now with our Parasaurolophus. She is an absolute beauty. So this is the Parasaur skin, of course, from the film, and it does require a little bit of remodeling on the head. You can see the mouth area. The head is always the main thing. The mouth area, and especially this area here with the crest, has changed quite a lot, I would suggest, from the regular Jurassic World version. I've got to say, we have a lot of variant Parasaurs at this point in time. Parasaur has had many different iterations in Jurassic World Evolution 2, but this might be my favourite of the entire bunch. So our second new Parasaur is a little bit closer to the Jurassic World Evolution / Jurassic World one in terms of styling. It gets rid of the blue and it adds this stripe down the side here, as you can see. And this stripe is the one that's present really on the Evolution version. I really like the implication. I get the feeling this is meant to suggest that they had the DNA from the Isla Nublar Parasaurolophus and they started to sort of make their own on the basis of it. And this is kind of the halfway point between their version and the version from Jurassic World. It still has the new body shape, as you can see over here, but the skin is a little bit more in keeping with that Jurassic World version. It's a really interesting idea. And we've got one more still to check out. So this one, as you can see, has the coloration of the old one, but it's got the striped patterning and the facial shape and everything and patterning of the new one. So I'd say this is more the halfway out of the three, and that one we just saw was more like the first iteration. This would be the second iteration, and then finally they get the third iteration, the one with the blue over here, and that's like Biosyn's final version of this dinosaur. But a really, really nice Parasaur skins. I love the new model. I'd love to see the model be able to be transferred to all the other skin colours as well, because I think it looks really, really good. Maybe my favourite Parasaurs in the entire game, honestly. It looks beautiful. So the last two new skins we need to take a look at are Tyrannosaurus Rex skins. This first one is a scarred variant. Not variant, skin. So this is, of course, the one that we got a glimpse of in the previews. This is my first time seeing it in game. It's really not a big noticeable change, but you see some scarring here on the arm. You can see a little indent, little scar there on the thigh as well. There's not too much more to it. There's a little bit, yeah, you can just see, again, some strike marks down there on the body and there across that area there. It's been slashed a little bit. It's been beaten up a little bit. It's just a nice little extra level of detail if you're that way inclined. It's got one last skin to show you, the final T-Rex skin. I haven't seen this one myself, actually, because this is the only skin in the entire game we didn't get a preview of. It's really interestingly named. This is called Tyrannosaurus Rex 65 million years ago, basically. I'll show you it. It's a 65 MA for 65 million years ago, Mega Annum, I believe that is, for a million years. So you can see this is going to be a feathered Rex variant. This is the one from the prologue film that was cut from the final Dominion release. So there we go, that is our feathered Rex. Pretty nice. It's actually, interestingly enough, you know, because we've gone back and forth a billion times on this, but it is a fairly realistic rendition of, you know, how much and where those feathers would be. It might be even a little bit too high, but it's really interesting to see, of course, a Rex who does in many ways just resemble our modern Rex. She's meant to just look like Rexy, largely, but then this sort of smattering of furry feathering, this downy feathering all along the back, very similar in texture to the Therizinosaurus, as you can see. But as I say, I think this is the best way to do it. I think it comes out really, really well here. So that's a good choice, generally speaking. I love that this is in the game. I'm not sure I actually like it. In reality, I don't know if I actually think it looks any good, but it's interesting that it's in the game. I'm hoping beyond hope that eventually we do get the other dinosaurs from the prologue and we can recreate the prologue a little bit. That'd be really cool. And it's just cool to have a feathered Rex, and it's just cool to have feathers in the game, you know. That's such a big deal. So as you can see, although only 4 new species, we do have quite a lot of new things going on here. I think the Parasaur is close that it could be a variant. I suspect it doesn't have the new sounds and stuff that would warrant that, but you know, in terms of the dinosaurs and stuff like that, I'd say it's a really well-rounded pack. It's got a really nice mix of everything. Therizinosaurus, I think, is absolutely fantastic. There's some brilliant new animations to showcase throughout this pack, so definitely come back later throughout today. The videos are going to be coming thick and fast, so come back later on to see all these dinosaurs highlighted in a little bit more detail, well, the new species at the very least. And the Giga, because there's been some funny little changes to the Giganotosaurus, so thank you very much for joining me. Hope you're all excited about the day of Dominion Biosyn content. Lots more to come. Oh wait, no! So whilst that's it for the new species and the variants and the skins and everything, as promised, we're going to check out some of them in the species viewer so we can get a better handle of what their new skins are going to look like. Because of course, the new species have to have a skin that resembles Jurassic World Dominion, but they also have to have a skin for all the other situations. They have to have a frontier skin. So let's check those out. So there's Therizinosaurus 2022, as you can see. And if we go through these, we've got Sonoran Desert, which is sort of this orangey one. We've got that red Crimson of Death Valley, a grey Sandy Desert, the green of Champlain, I should say, Salada Hesco, also green. Interesting Limpopo, this sort of mossy sort of mix. Killian's back to very similar to the 2022 one, really, but a little bit brighter, a little bit browner. Yukon a bit of pink, Svalbard, very pink, very grey. Amazon a bit more green, Mangrove with the blue and the yellow underbelly as well, and then Gambia River Basin. So it's really interesting to see it with all these different colours. It looks, you know, quite demonstrably different than it usually does. Let's check that out. And then we can go through Rana, Calcarona, Lithobates, Pulcrana, Papyrana, and Pelophylax. And of course you can turn that if you want to, but that's what Frontier added basically, is this dappled sort of pattern, and as you can see, it does affect the beak as well. It gets that different colour, kind of like what they did with the Monolophosaurus. Look at how those feathers are gleaming. So I think I prefer for this one the 2022 version more than any of the others. I just really like that skin and the crimson down the back, but it is an interesting pattern. It mixes things up, and it's pretty cool. Quetzalcoatlus, however, has really nice variations. So the 2022 one looks beautiful. However, if we check out the Frontier one, as you can see, it's got this whole new patterning going on the head there. If I go into this, you can just see how much that changes and what Frontier have done here. And I think the skull patterning, this is absolutely, I might prefer it to the film, honestly. I think this is absolutely beautiful texture work and patterning done there on the face. And we can move through the skin colours there as well, like so. Hey, look at this. It's just wild. It's so colourful and so vibrant. It just feels like a completely... That is fantastic looking. It just feels like a completely different creature. I mean, that is super purple. I really like that it's mixed up quite so much. It's actually more vivid and interesting, I would say, in some ways than that one. Although I can definitely see how you could prefer the default one as well. I just really think that looks... Yeah, I'm a big fan of you, Quetzal. Well done, buddy. Moving on, we have the Pyroraptor as well. Another one with really good variant skins. So, Sonoran Desert like that. You can see again, Frontier have added, we've got the striping effect here on the mohawk. Got this patterning going along on the face, like this dashing here, and then this splayed bit over here. And even the feathers on the back have kind of added this extra colour where it really shows the differentiation in the feathers, as you can see. You can kind of see this layering effect really highlighted by the pattern. You can see how that changes depending on... Look at that! It really changes depending on the colouring of the pattern. Frontier have gone wild with their colours lately. You know, they didn't really used to look like this, and then Monolophosaurus came in, was hyper colourful, and now they've started doing this kind of colourful head effect a lot more often, and I really like it. I mean, look at this. This looks fantastic. It's really good. You can see how it's changing these feathers as well. These are changing to like a dark green, whereas they were like a sort of yellowish, whitish colour. Just go through these quickly. Champlain Valley, Salado Huesco, Limpopo, Killian Mountains. I love this one. If we just put a slightly different pattern on, something like that maybe. Hey, look at that. Isn't that a beauty? This snowy, white, Arctic feathered raptor. I think it's absolutely fantastic. That one as well, absolutely beautiful stuff. Look at that. What a beast. I really, really like these alternates. That's fantastic for the Pyroraptor. I think they're really, really good. I actually, again, I prefer it to the Dominion version. Frontier have done a fantastic job with these ones. With these ones, however, the last one, because obviously the variants, unfortunately, don't come with... We don't have, like, Giga skins for the new Giga model. The variants are standalone. But the Dimetrodon is the last one we have. This one, I don't think came across quite so well. It's very hard to see. As you can see, the pattern is really contained to the sail. It does make the sail more interesting. It adds, you know, there's a little dash of it there, but it feels very similar, I would say, to the default one, just with more colours. Whereas it feels like with the others, Frontier kind of pushed the boat out a little bit more. So I'll just go through these colours. Sonoran, Death Valley, Great Sandy Desert, Champlain Valley, Salado Huesco, Limpopo, Killian Mountains, Yukon River, Svalbard, Amazon Rainforest, Mangrove Forest, and Gambia River Basin. Not that these don't look cool, they definitely do. It's just they're a little bit more chill than the others. Right, so let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Stick around for much more of this. There's a playlist down below if you want to check out all my Dominion Biosyn content. Of course, we're not just going to have these highlights, but we'll be kicking off with the campaign and the Chaos Theory probably tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting few days for Jurassic World Evolution 2 fans. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.